parenting during the pandemic. You've got some still waiting for the FDA to approve COVID vaccines for kids under 5. And for some families, the lack of this kind of protection means they're avoiding things like traveling a ton or socializing a bunch or going to busy places. They want to make sure their kids don't get sick. I spoke with some parents about this back in March. I want to share that story with you. Scarlett Prince Miller turns 5 this weekend, and she's been counting down the days for months.
She knows that once she gets the shot from the virus, she might be able to get on a plane and go visit her Auntie Em in Philadelphia.
But for Mom Megan, for now, life's looking limited. No planes, no indoor dining. So she feels abandoned by talk of a new normal.
There absolutely is no normal for a family that cannot get their child vaccinated who wants to. It is very, very real for us. At this point, we are being left behind in the pandemic.
Kids under 5 are not eligible to be vaccinated right now and won't be probably until June at the earliest. CDC statistics show they're at lower risk than other age groups, though the risk is not zero. People over 75, for example, make up 7% of the population, but account for more than half of COVID deaths. Kids under 5, 6% of the population, and 0.1% of deaths. The risk-benefit calculation looks different for different families. The Zerons, including 3-year-old Nico, are starting to open up their lives cautiously.
He looks at me and he says, Mommy, is this safe? Can I do it? And that breaks my heart a little bit. So that makes me want to not be as risk adverse.
Do you feel like the CDC, the administration, as they're making decisions about returning to normal, have parents like you in mind?
It's been very confusing, quite honestly.
That confusion is partly why some parents turn to outside experts like Emily Oster, an economist focusing on parenting and COVID data.
This risk is small, even if it is very salient. And that's just a very hard thing to navigate.
What do you say to parents of kids under 5?
When people say, well, I'm not ready yet, I would encourage them to a little bit to say, what are you waiting for? What are the kind of next steps that you see that would let you move forward?
For some, it's the vaccine, even though only 1 in 5 parents of young kids say they'll get the shot as soon as it's approved.
Look at you.
Prince Miller will and has no regrets about the precautions she's taken so far.
Now, if you have to put on my gravestone, she was overly cautious in a global pandemic with regard to the health of her 2 small children. I'm okay with that.
When do you think you will get back to a new state of normal?
Part of me hopes it's like sooner rather than later, because I don't want my child to live in fear and have anxiety over things. But I think that it's going to take time for everyone just to get comfortable.
The new normal, for some parents, anything but. You know, Moderna is trying to be the first company to offer a COVID vaccine for kids 5 and under. They asked the FDA to authorize the low-dose shot just last week. The FDA is expected to make the decision probably sometime in June, which could mean shots in arms for the littlest kids as soon as this summer.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.